I should have a caveat. I just moved back from California, and so much easier to do a presentation there because they love my accent. And now I'm presenting to mostly, I guess, a British audience, and I don't have that on my side. So I actually probably have to come up with some good content. So luckily I had an hour commute on the way here this morning. No, I'm kidding. Well, thank you so much for taking time out for this session. I think when we look at the human side of digital transformation, what's got the most press, the most noise is humans versus robots, right? We're going to all lose our jobs. Everything's going to be automated. It's true, 87% of companies are automating, according to Forbes article read yesterday. But in the UK, at least, 9% increase in headcount. So we're still hiring people. There's still things that humans can do that robots can't do today. So I think I want to push that topic just to one side and really focus on the people and how they interact with technology and how we as organizations can change our thinking, the way we design technology, the way we design our work environments, the way we design our teams to really help people survive and thrive within their environment. So underneath every business transformation is a people transformation. It's impossible to make changes in a business without impacting the people. And if you're smart, you'll take people with you on that journey and they'll embrace the change, maybe even be the change makers rather than having to adapt and build resilience around that change. When we look at what companies are really focusing on now and what the C-suite cares about as they go through the digital transformation, yeah, they care about the technology, what impact it's going to have on business outcomes, but they also are now thinking about, well, what does that mean for our people? So thinking about how do we build a model of our business that really is where humans are at the center? How do we increase our brand to attract and retain top talent? How do we create employee experiences that are not just ideal, but are positive, are allowing people to feel supported, allowing people to feel respected at work, having a voice. So if you think about the recent Amazon and Google walkouts, that was really about like people not feeling that they had a voice, a way to communicate what was happening to them, how they were feeling about those business transformations. We're in a place in time where I think Bill McDermott says it beautifully, and I'm going to completely misquote him, but it's something around, change has never been this fast and it will never be this slow again. So we've got this kind of exponential change happening in the market and having to adapt to those changes. We've got hyperconnectivity. We're always on our devices. In fact, I'm looking around. I was hoping to call out a few people who are on their phones, but you're being such an attentive audience. So thank you. I appreciate that. But we're always connected. I mean, on the train this morning on the way in from Brighton, almost every single person on my carriage had at least one device that they were glued to, if not two, and in my case, three. So how do we really take care of people in this hyper-connected world? How many of you take your phones to bed? Hands up, don't be shy. Okay, so it's about a third of this group take their phones to bed. Arianna Huffington, who heads up a company now called Thrive Global, who's on a mission to end stress and burnout in organizations, is a big, big, big proponent of sleep. She's had a number of business leaders, a number of celebrities, sports personalities talk about the impact of having sleep and how it can make you more productive. In fact, if you've had, and I won't ask you to put your hands up here because I know my hand will be up, but if you've had less than 6 hours sleep over 2 consecutive nights, you're as cognitively impaired as you would be if you were legally drunk. Right? So when you think about that, someone showing up at the office legally drunk would never be accepted. But someone showing up at the office saying, oh, I was working on this project, or I was commuting, I took the red eye, I haven't had much sleep in the last couple of nights, how is that acceptable? So we're really starting to think about the impact of businesses, of change on business and on people. Okay, so I think one of the topics I'm going to talk about today is well-being, and it's really about this kind of work-life integration. So the lines between work and life are becoming more and more blurred. How do we give people the permission and the tools and content that can help them really get more balance in their work life? And some companies are doing great at this. They have a lot of well-being programs. In fact, SAP has 400 well-being programs for its global employees. I probably know about 5 of them, honestly. I mean, I know we're doing a good job at providing the programming, but I don't know where to find it. It doesn't get delivered to me at the right time. So how can we be thinking about how we deliver and really maximize this investment, but also like, what's the business case for it? When we talk to our customers about well-being, they all know it's the nice thing to do, possibly even the right thing to do, but how does it really impact business outcomes? So I just wanted to share with you one of my favorite statistics around here, and by the way, there are many. I think we have a spreadsheet now tracking about 500 statistics around investment in well-being and the impact it can have on the business, but I think this is really critical because this is the impact that it can have on the human, right? So there are great business outcomes in terms of productivity, in terms of top line and bottom line profits, but when we look at the people side of investing in well-being, it's really driving this engagement, it's driving productivity, it's driving creativity and innovation. So it was a TED Talk I was listening to recently, so I got really distracted by the dogs. It's so unfair being on this stage and like seeing the dogs in the corner of your eye. Go over there for some well-being when we're done here. No questions, no time for questions. Go stroke some dogs. So yeah, I was listening on a TED Talk that there was a study done of a company who allowed their workers to work from home. So flexible working, we're seeing this a lot more now. They were 13.5% more productive working from home than they were in an office. So I think we're starting to bust through some of those myths about flexible working and really think about how people are impacted by those decisions. Because at the end of the day, well-being is individual. I like to drink mine, other people like to run theirs, some people like to sleep their well-being. So it's a very individual thing. And so what we're doing in SuccessFactors is we're looking at how can we create technology that people want to engage with, not just to book a vacation or a vacation day or to maybe book a flight or a hotel, but something they can come into every day, possibly multiple times a day, and get immediate value from that. So they're engaging with the technology in a really positive way. They're getting something back immediately for the action they're giving. So we've developed this idea of well-being at work, a technology called Work-Life, and what we're really doing in terms of our guiding principles around the technology and the development and how we engage people around this topic is we're actually delivering to them programming around well-being before they even know they need it, right? So we're not trying to make people fitter, we're trying to get those people and those employees who feel stressed, or maybe even before they feel stressed, to start thinking about what they can be doing on an individual level to try and manage that and build resilience to deal with all this change and hyperconnectivity that they're dealing with. So the idea is that we can link it, for example, to a different status in the employee journey. So someone is a new hire. We know that's quite stressful. We want to give them a good experience day one. We've sold the brand to them. We've sold the company to them. We want them to have a good experience day one. So what can we be doing day one as a new hire to help them feel supported, respected, and cared for in that first week? What can we do for people going on maternity leave or returning from maternity leave? What can we be doing for someone who's recently promoted? Great, maybe your financial well-being is great and better, but maybe now you're spending more time away from your family, you're managing a team. All these things can have an impact on the individual. So we're trying to catch them right at that point before they even know that they need it. And we're working with Arianna Huffington's company Thrive Global to help us with that because they've got this amazing content. And it's not just business leaders, how they run their businesses. I mean, sure, we'd all love to know how Jeff Bezos gets 8 hours sleep, especially with the recent press. Does he have 48 hours in his day? I don't know how that happens. But you know, it's great to hear from business leaders, but as employees, sometimes we don't resonate necessarily with CEOs of companies. Maybe we're more interested in what top athletes have to say, or celebrities. You know, I track a couple of celebrities on Instagram. I'm more likely to take notice of what they're doing for their own well-being than maybe a business leader. So it's really about thinking how we can create, oh, hi, I didn't even look down here, hello. How we can create this kind of role models in our leadership within the organization, but also outside of the organization, and bring it in so people can really relate to the information and content, articles, and they can start taking steps towards their well-being journey. My step towards well-being journey is to get more sleep. Did not do that last night, ended up going to the pub quiz, came 11th out of 19, so it wasn't really even worth my time, but it was fun and I got that social connection, and for me, that's good for my well-being. If I got 8 hours sleep at the same time, that would have been nice too. Okay, Oh, that's me done. Okay, so I wanted to kind of allow some time for questions. This is a topic that I think a lot of people are interested in talking about. They have opinions on. We're trying to really understand how can we as a technology company provide engaging tools, help people interact with technology in a positive way, and create environments where they can not just survive, but thrive, where they feel they can achieve their goals, they feel part of a community, and also that they feel supported. So does anyone have any, yes, I see a question here from Joseph. Hi, Joseph.
Hiya.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm not going to hear him, am I? Okay.
On the wellbeing platform that you have,
Yes.
are you envisaging a world where you'll be collecting individual data from all the employees in large organizations, be that through mobile device, wearables, things that they're already gathering, and then sort of acting in real time on those insights and providing coaching or wellbeing treatment?
Yes, so thank you for the question, Joseph. So yeah, when we think about the work-life solution, it's really it's a hub where people can go to and we can either signpost them out to wellbeing programming, or we can actually present them with it. And the data, if you think about maybe as a customer of SuccessFactors, all the rich data that we have on employees in the system. So I talked earlier about, we know they're a new hire, we know that they're returning from maternity leave. We can trigger events based on that. But absolutely, we want to integrate wearable devices into that so we can upload that information. We have an ambition to have information from our Concur offering pull through, so we can see how often people are traveling, where they're traveling, what their timelines are, time zones are. We can even, this is a great example because I travel a lot, and still, as a female, I get a little uncomfortable sitting at the hotel bar by myself. I don't really want to drink in my room by myself. I think that's probably a bit sadder. So what I end up doing is thinking, well, SAP has 97,000 employees. There must be another SAP person or someone I know in this city. Well, if we look at the information that we collect in Concur, it can tell me that. Maybe not someone on my team. I would hope I would know someone from my team was in the city, but it might be someone I've worked with in the past on a project. Hey, Teresa, Joseph's in New York this week. Why don't you guys grab dinner together? Now, I may opt out and say, well, I don't want to spend any time, but the option to connect when I'm traveling is really good for people if they want that experience. So wearable devices, triggers within the system of where they are in their employee journey. We're going to bring in possibly technology where we can listen. So we can listen to emails. We've been working with this company, part of our one of our incubators, who listen to emails, right? The sentiment of emails, and they can start tracking when someone is writing more aggressively, seems to be, stressing out about different things. You can pick that up in the email just through listening. So we can start to preempt that. The other thing we're doing is we're showing the managers on an aggregate level, anonymously, what's going on for the employees. So they've got visibility, they know exactly how and where to intervene or to support their employees. So yeah, lots and lots of really rich data that can help us serve up much more personalized experience around that topic. Great question. Any other questions? I'm just wondering how we can link out to the dogs in our system, right? Oh, I should say actually the other way that we collect data is we do have survey at the front of this, and we'll be building that out even more now that we've got the Qualtrics capabilities. So we are asking questions, but we want to try and make it less onerous on the individual and just start applying more listening tactics, more digital assistant front ends. Hey, Teresa, morning, how are you? How much sleep did you get? Little questions throughout the day, just tracking how I'm feeling. We have pulse checks in the system too, so managers or HR or the organization can ask questions, whether it be about something that's happening in the organization, like a reorg or an announcement about you've just spent $8 billion on a company, or whether it be something political that may be affecting people's security around their jobs. So we're definitely using survey capability too. Great, any other questions? Oh, great. Aye.
I sometimes have 8 hours, 10 hours, or in 12-hour days, and 8 is the minimum.
Okay.
Could go up to 10 or 12. Now, everybody at some point has some stress associated with work. I was wondering, are you thinking of maybe having some mechanism to collect well-being data by perhaps attaching some sensors like blood pressure on a person's finger, for example, feeding this to Concur. So,
Yeah.
and also, not Concur, sorry, SuccessFactors.
Yep.
Potentially also linking it with calendar. So, for example, I start my day at
Right.
8 o'clock, finish by about 6 o'clock, and
Yep.
I have to do a certain number of meetings through the day.
Yep.
And then trying to find out when the blood pressure goes up most. No, it's just a thought.
Right now.
Yeah. And then also, collecting that data and also possibly providing a chat function where a person, an employee, can say
Yeah.
when they're most stressed, in addition to, the device tracking their
Yeah.
well-being data. And so that then HR can build up a profile.
Yeah.
And then, you could use several different types of metrics, for example, to find out whether the person who's, being monitored is coming to like a level when they might break. And then HR could then proactively tell that person maybe they need to slow down, take leave, or move to a different role within the organization, something on those lines.
I mean, we definitely are thinking about ways that we could be more proactive and preventative around particularly health issues, because it's costing a lot of companies a lot of money, and it's obviously not good for the individual. Everything that we're doing is building an ecosystem around the hub. So SAP is not delivering on mindfulness apps. We'll work with Headspace. SAP is not delivering on a financial well-being app. We'll work with Best Money Moves. So yeah, there are wearable devices or biometric devices that we can pull through. The company is interested, they can pull that into the system and offer them to their employees. It's all about consent. The employee has to consent to use the solution, to share their data, to wear the device. So we're definitely thinking about that, because we can measure a lot now on an individual level, and we can learn a lot too about the environments that we create for people and what raises their stress levels. Think about retail. Oh, no, it's not retail, it's a customer service. How am I doing for time? Okay, one more minute. Thrive Global, we're working with a call center. And their call center representatives were getting super stressed out. They're on the phone all day. It's one call after another, usually an angry customer. So a really hard environment to try and think of anything that could be more positive or create more positive interaction with the technology. And what they did is they set up an automated call. So every 7th or 8th call to that call center was a reminder to breathe, to stand up, to stretch. And so every single person, it was a mandate. They had to pick up the call. They thought it was going to be another angry customer, and it was like, hey, this is just a reminder to stand up and take a walk around the office. Hey, let's do a quick breathing exercise, couple of minutes, right? And people come back to the next call much more refreshed. The customer experience is improved. So yeah, different ways that we can do that on a multiple time a day basis. Small actions. Definitely thinking about those as well. Okay, we've got 30 seconds. I don't know if that's enough time for any questions, but I'll be around all day. I'm wearing an orange jumper, so it should be easy to find. I'll be by the dogs, so it will be covered in fur probably by the time I leave. But I'd love to answer more questions and have a chat with you about this topic. And I'd love to hear your feedback on how we're approaching it from SAP. So thank you very much for your time today.